The return of Fat Pikachu. Hey everyone, Templar74 here with another episode of PokeTalk, and today's episode of PokeTalk is going to be my review of the latest episode of Pokemon Pocket Monsters 2019, Episode 13, Ash vs. Leon, The Road to the Strongest. Now, before I talk about the episode though, I do want to take a second to apologize. I am fighting a bit of a cold here, so this review is probably going to be shorter than what I would like most of my reviews to be. But that being said though, everybody, it does not take away from the fact that this episode was a great episode in my opinion, and we'll talk about why here in just a second. So, at risk of further rambling, let's go ahead and talk about the actual episode. So the episode begins where we left off last week with the Gigantamax Dreadnought that was attacking the stadium there, and Ash and Go immediately set off to try to stop the Gigantamax Dreadnought, which they are able to do when Ash's Pikachu Gigantamaxes itself and defeats Dreadnought, much to Leon's amazement here. And the battle is really quite interesting as we see Ash's Pikachu in its Gigantamaxed form using Max Steel Spike, G-Max Volt Crash, and Max Strike here. So yeah, Pikachu is right on the money here. Gigantamax Pikachu, the return of Fat Pikachu boy. But yeah, so anyway, that's a whole nother subject. So Leon's in amazement that this had happened here, and that's when Ash and Go meet Leon properly for the first time after this Dreadnought is stopped. And when Ash tries to ask Leon for a battle, they are denied. This gentleman comes up, and yeah, Ash doesn't get to have his battle, which is very disappointing to the poor guy. So we transition the following morning. Ash and Go are in front of this tea shop, and as they're talking, we see Go get another Pokemon. Again, this running gag. This time, Go manages to catch a Squovent, and yeah, it just happened to show up. It's eating those scones. Go catches it. Typical Go storyline here. So, yep, Go could not go more than one episode without catching a Pokemon. Go figure. Anyway, so Go's got Squavent, and they are continuing to sit there and talk, and Go explains to Ash that he is in the bottom 1,000 of trainers here, so he likely won't ever get to battle Leon, and he explains that you have to go all the way to the top here. And I felt that this whole part was probably the most disappointing part of the episode for me here, because I think it's highly debatable that Ash is in the lower 1,000. I mean, he is the Alola champion. I mean, come on, Pokemon. You had to take that away from him here. You had to basically put him at the bottom of the pyramid again. I mean, chances are Go already knows what Ash has done in the previous regions. I mean, you couldn't let the poor boy have this after you've worked so hard. After he's worked so hard, rather, it took him 20 years to get a title of champion under his belt, and you're just going to take that away from him? Come on, Pokemon. That was the big disappointment in the episode for me. But anyway, Go is dumbfounded when all of a sudden Leon appears, and he accepts Ash's challenge right there for a battle, and this is kind of to Go's amazement here, but Ash is excited, Leon is likewise, and they immediately set off for their battle here in the stadium. But before their battle gets underway, Leon gives Ash a Dynamax band here to use in the battle, and that's when Ash battles Leon for the first time, and it's Gigantamax Pikachu versus Gigantamax Charizard. Gigantamax Charizard wins, so Ash ends up losing the battle to Leon here, but it was a great battle nonetheless. And when the battle is over, Ash attempts to give the Dynamax band back to Leon, but Leon is insistent that Ash keep it, and they are confident that they are going to battle again someday. And that's where the premise of the episode leaves off, as Ash and Go set back off for Vermilion City, and that was essentially the episode. Like I said, everybody, this episode was a good episode. I enjoyed the episode. Probably the biggest disappointment for me here was the bottom 1,000 bit with Go and Ash there, when Go's trying to explain why Ash will not be able to battle Leon. I think that was probably the most disappointing and infuriating part of the episode for me. But even with that though, everything aside, I give this episode an 8 out of 10. The reason why it gets an 8 out of 10 though goes back to that one moment. That one moment stopped this episode from being a perfect episode like last week, in my opinion. But again, that's just my opinion. You guys are more than free to agree or disagree with me in that. in the comments section. And speaking of that, everybody, in the comments section down below, let me know what your guys' thoughts were about this week's episode. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did you think it was just there? What were your thoughts? Just let me know in the comments section down below, because as always, I enjoy hearing from you. Alright everyone, as always, Templar74 signing off. Have a great day everybody, and I'll talk to you all next time. Goodbye everybody.